There are tags that are relatively new, very similar to CSS Grid, and not all browsers support them. And so when it sees a grid declaration, it doesn't know how to handle that. In order to accommodate that, we have a new @supports tag we can use to help with that. And so the way this works is, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and let's put this up above, well, let's put it below our wrapper. Okay. And we say, okay, if the browser supports the grid tag, then go ahead and we're going to add the wrapper code, and we're going to take this code right here out, and we'll put it right here, which should be the same. And what that means is normally go through, treat a wrapper like a wrapper. But if we do support grid, then change the wrapper to a grid and set up the template columns, right? And then we're going to go through, and I'm going to take this one out and establish the header and the nav and the hero image and the footer and all the stuff that's all grid, and put it right there. And so kind of everything in between these wrappers here, let me tab this over, everything between here to here, between this one and this one, will be applied if the browser supports grid. And if it doesn't, then you've got to do something else. And what we could do is we could say, our header is going to have 100%, across the screen, like width across the screen, and our nav and different things, rather than using these numbers. So it's just one way to say, if it does support it, then apply this. And if not, then do something else. And you can see here in this other example, if it doesn't support grid, then handle our div another way. And we can do it both ways, but typically I would go through and say that my header is going to have a width of 100%, and just do it like that, and that would work. This would still be applied into this, but header's still going to go 100% across the screen. But at least now it knows how to deal with that grid system. Now again, depending on the tags you're using, you may not need this. The grid system is pretty, it's new, but it's not so new that, most browsers use it. And again, you can look up this can I use, and in this case, you can see where global usage is 92% or 94% with the parcel usage of 1.55. That's the vast majority, and you're probably fine to use it. But there was a time that we wouldn't teach grid because browser support was still pretty new for everything.